Monday morning, it's McCollum on Business. I'm Stephen McCollum, and for the next 30 minutes or so, I'll get you updated on what's happening around the business world. Of course, we look into the market watch. It's a big movement today. SpaceX, first day on the trading block after being initially put onto the NASDAQ on Friday afternoon. Of course, big developments in the war over in Iran, plus local and national stories that you need to know and the stocks that we're all paying attention to today as well. So, welcome to the show here on this Monday, and let's get it started with that market watch. Potential Iran deal we'll talk about here in just a moment. SpaceX having a good day on its first day. We'll talk about that here in a second as well. Well, the Dow Jones right now up to 583 points, as you see on your screen, 51,796. S&P 500 is up 119 points to 7550. The Nasdaq, it's up 646 points to 26,535. The only one that's lagging today would be the Russell 2K. It's down 4 points. That small cap index is 2985 as of right now. What's happening there is apparently people are taking money out of those small cap companies, moving it into those larger ones, chip stocks, energy stocks, things that are going up today because oil prices, yes, folks, they're down below $80 a barrel today. With the Iran news, we'll talk about in a minute. Then Bitcoin, a little rebound of sorts. It's back up to 66,379 for Bitcoin today. So people taking money out of Bitcoin this last week and a half, putting it a little bit back in over the weekend and today, but not down to that mid 60,000 range, so that low 60,000 range as well. Stocks we're paying attention to right now, well, obviously the one everybody's watching, SpaceX out there, as today's its first official full trading day. Right now it's up 7.90%. If you notice, it's trading at $173.53 right now. Obviously, they made their debut on the NASDAQ on Friday. It rose 19% on Friday alone. Its IPO price was $135 per share, up 19% on Friday. Up so far today, another 7.94% here this morning. You can see when it first opened up, it dropped. If you're able to watch us here, if you're driving, don't watch. If you're listening, but if you can, well, look, I mean, big sell-off here to start the day, and then now come back here to that 7.98%. Next stock we're going to look at, update for you, Paramount Skydance out there. Good news for them on Friday, which means today they're up 2.58% right now. They were up about 5% when the market opened, so people have unloaded some of this stock here today. But the U.S. Justice Department, it announced on Friday it has approved Paramount's acquisition of Warner Brothers Discovery. So the federal hurdle is clear in terms of this merger. Now, will there any state merger questions come into it? We know the California Attorney General has been paying attention to this merger, kind of going against this merger. So we'll have to keep our eyes open and see if they do file anything on it. But the bigger important thing is the federal merger or the federal hiccups to this merger is over as of a Friday as well. So huge news in that merger. And this, of course, is Paramount Skydance and Warner Brothers Discovery merger that we are talking about. Fox Corporation's also in the news this morning. They're down 17.35%. They announced that they were acquiring Roku for $160 per share. This is an astronomical number for Roku. We'll look at their stock in just a minute. But $160 per share, that's an 11% premium compared to Roku's Friday close. So everybody's astounded by the dollar amounts here that Fox is buying Roku at. Go ahead and throw Roku stock up here. As you see, Fox is down 16%, Roku down 2% right now as well. The cash and stock transaction will build a company that's at big forefront of sports, news, and streaming as well. So Roku was up about 2% when the market first opened. So obviously down a little bit here as well. People are shocked at that $160 per share valuation of this purchase, but going through as well, Roku originally was part of Netflix. Netflix spun them off into their own company. I want to say 2008 timeframe, if I remember correctly, and all of that. So big merger here possibly coming up moving forward for those companies as well. Later on, when we look at the stocks, we're going to look at Micron Technology. Then we'll go local here with Freeport McMoran, of course, mining company that still does a lot of copper business here in Arizona. We'll look at those stocks coming up as well. But first, get into the news that you need to know here on this Monday around business. Now, this is an international thing, but affects oil prices, right? The U.S. and Iran, it was announced this morning, will officially sign a formal peace agreement during a ceremony over in Switzerland coming up this Friday. Pakistani officials announced this. We have since got confirmation from the Iran state television, and I think the U.S. government's also done it as the president has taken off to go to France here to get ready for the G7 summit. The deal will reportedly start as 60 days of discussions over Tehran's nuclear program and a broader agreement. We are getting some ideals of the framework. I saw this morning some of the rumors out there. Strait of Hormuz opened up. President Trump put that out on his True Social. He said, "Get those ships' engines going." Strait of Hormuz, as soon as this is signed, reportedly will open. The blockade will reportedly close or stop as well for Iran pretty much immediately after. Now, how long does it take to ramp up the shipping over there through the Strait of Hormuz is the bigger question. It's not like all of a sudden every ship is there waiting to go out there. But, President Trump is in Europe for the G7 summit. That begins today. He departed for France because a lot of people are thinking, hey, he was in Washington last night. The UFC event ended at midnight or 1:30 Eastern time. Yes, it did. And he got on a plane and headed over to France. Yeah, that's what he did. You never rest when you're the president of the United States. European unions are already voicing their support for the peace agreement. The UK Prime Minister came out and called for full freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. We also have heard that there's going to be no tolls around the Strait of Hormuz either. Now, that was a big talking point by Iran. Now, there's still some negotiation on the nuclear side. But obviously, here on this business show, we're most interested in that oil flowing again. Oil is down to $80 a barrel. Some cases below it as well here this morning. So oil is tanking, which means hopefully these gas prices keep going down. I saw some low four. I saw 412 over the weekend while driving around town. So we're seeing a drop. Now we need to get back down in that low threes, $2 range would help everybody out there and inflation wise and everything. Hey, we told you in the stock section here as well. The big news: Fox Corp. They agreed to buy that streaming company, Roku. It's a cash and stock deal valued at about $22 billion, including debt. Told you $160 a share premium amount. Roku will continue to be run though as an open, partner-friendly platform. Fox is taking it over if it gets through the regulations, but will operate independently. There appears to be no immediate changes that customers will see with the program. Fox and Roku both said that the combined company will become the third largest player in U.S. television in terms of the viewing number. Media reports had surfaced on Fridays. The rumors were out there that Roku was looking for its strategic options, including, merging or selling to somebody. Speculation was rampant as to which companies might be interested in an acquisition. And folks, by the time Friday came around and that rumor started going out there, well, Fox probably had the framework of the deal already in place. People, of course, before were talking about Netflix getting involved with this, as Roku spun off from Netflix back in the day. But why was it Amazon or Comcast or Disney big into this deal? It's kind of the speculation. The deal will give Fox access to more than 100 million global households, along with the Roku channel and its first-party data, which is a big thing they want. Fox oversees, that massive sports, news, and entertainment network. It even owns Tubi, yeah, which it acquired in 2020. Which Tubi you have to know about, man. When I stream, because I don't have cable, I don't have any of those programs. When I went to stream the World Cup game for the U.S. the other day, I had to download the Tubi app again. They force us to watch some of those things on Tubi. Existing Fox shareholders, they're expected to own about 73% of the combined company. Roku shareholders will own about 27% once the deal does eventually close. It's expected to close in the first half of next year. It still needs approval from Fox and Roku shareholders, but then also, more importantly, regulatory approval is much needed as well for this process. So I'm wondering, and we'll find this out in the few days here as well. What I'm wondering is why the $160 a share, the $22 billion valuation for them, an 11% premium from Friday's close. I'm wondering if it's because Fox got in a bidding war with somebody else, two or three companies, and that was just the premium amount in order to get that deal done. I'm sure we'll hear about that here as time goes along as well. Now we got to move over, right? We know the screwworm is attacked, has gotten into some cattle over there in Texas. Well, it's not just cattle it gets into. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is now granted an emergency use authorization for a drug called nitropyram. See, why can't drugs be named easily like that? I'm talking to you, GLP-1 medications. The nitropyram, it's a medication to treat the New World screwworm infestation, specifically in dogs and cats. It's the first generic animal drug approved for use against the flesh-eating parasite that gets into open wounds. Nitropyram, they're tablets, by the way. They can be used in dogs and cats that weigh at least 2 pounds and are at least 4 weeks old. This all came out last week in a statement by the FDA. Nitropyram was previously approved by the FDA back in 2000. Back then, it was called Capstar. It was treating fleas at that time. The FDA relies on these emergency use authorizations to speed access to treatments in urgent situations. And we all know the New World screwworm is an emergency situation if you don't want it to infiltrate and get into a lot of the cattle and other infiltrations. Even though this is cats and dogs, it will spread to cows if they do interact. The New World screwworms, if you don't know, their larvae eat the live flesh and even the fluids instead of dead material. The females lay their eggs in open wounds and mucous membranes after mating only once in their months-long lives. That's why the treatment on it is, neutered or sterile male versions of these larvae, of these screwworms. The larvae can invest any warm blooded animal, including wildlife, pets. It will do humans as well if you have open sores and don't take care of those. Studies in Brazil on cats and dogs with screwworm infestations did find that most of the maggots were expelled after treatment with the nitropyram. The remaining larvae died in those situations. The interesting thing here is, after receiving nitropyram tablets, the animal may need to have the remaining live and dead larvae removed by a veterinarian. That's not the interesting part. What I meant to say, the interesting part is the drug's effects are short lasting. It does not provide ongoing protection against new infestations. If you get it again, if the dogs or cats get it again, you have to treat it again as well at that time. So it does not cure it. It solves the instant problem that these dogs and cats have, and then you move forward from there with the retreatment as it's needed out there. Hey, we told you about SpaceX up about 7% here today, 19% up on Friday. And we all know that Elon Musk just became the first person in history for that net worth of $1 trillion. Obviously, due to the SpaceX valuation here on the stock market. His net worth is now worth more than Larry Page, who's worth $294 billion. Let's just say that. Sergey Brin, $271 billion. Jeff Bezos, $248 billion. And even Mark Zuckerberg, who's slacking down there at $194 billion. Elon Musk's net worth is more than those guys combined. Yeah. So what that means is, interesting fact. Hey, you should feel proud today when you get up and go to work, because the average American is now closer to Jeff Bezos in net worth than Jeff Bezos is to Elon Musk. Yeah, we're getting closer to the billionaires, folks. As you know, Bezos is one of the richest people on Earth. The numbers, though, show just how enormous the gap has become between Musk's wealth and everybody else on the planet, but especially his billionaires. Bezos's fortune is currently estimated at just below the 250 billion mark. We just told you 248 billion. That means that the difference between Bezos and Musk is over 750 billion dollars. Yeah. The median American household has a net worth of about $193,000. That means that the difference between the average American household and Bezos, well, it's smaller. We're closer to Bezos today than Bezos is to Elon Musk. So there you go, folks. A little bit of fun for you. Now, here's an interesting fact if you don't know this, and you don't. My brain hurts when it comes to math, but the difference between a billion and a trillion is really bigger than you think it is. To put it into a perspective for you, a billion seconds is about 32 years. A trillion seconds, that's more than 31,000 years. Yeah, Elon Musk blowing away. I also saw Elon Musk can now purchase every sports company, every sports team out there, not just NBA, NHL, everywhere. He can buy them all. He has that much money and still have plenty of money left over as well for that. So $1 trillion valuation for Elon Musk. Good for him. The good news out of this is we're closer to Bezos than Bezos is to him. So I don't know. Maybe find some positive spin on that for this morning as you're getting up ready for work here on this kind of muggy, monsoony type of a Monday morning here in Phoenix is where we are. And when we come back, we'll talk a couple, well, local stories. Well, specifically Carvana making some moves, and everybody's kind of wondering what it means out there. Plus, we'll talk Bashes, getting in with a very large company. Speaking of Bezos, tell you about what Bashes is doing for the pickups or deliveries as well. So, and then of course we got a fun little story to end the show for you as well. KFC making some changes to their menu. We'll talk about that as well. You know that, food stories here early in the morning. Appreciate you joining me here on this Monday. When we come back, keep it rolling. Look at some stocks. Look at that market. See what it's doing today. I'll give you updated on oil as well. So come on back. It's McCollum on Business. And we're back here, McCollum on Business, Monday morning. Hopefully you had a good weekend out there. Of course, the new episode of The Real Matrix is out. Comes out on Fridays at noon. Part 3 of the Charlie Kirk saga that they have going on right now. Mini-series, we'll call it. The Angry Patriot. I want you just to come into that show with an open mind and ask questions to what he presents out there. Every Friday at noon, they're on Rumble, rumble.com/user/TME Media. Of course, also free podcast system. I just got the alert of notification, 5,000 podcast downloads for that show and its infancy here as well. over the weekend. So the support for the Real Matrix has been great. Rumble.com/user/TME Media. Right above the videos that pop up, you'll see a thing that says live, channel, etc. Hit the channel button. You can go to the channel there. All of our programming is on demand there on Rumble as well. As soon as we're done here, we put everything up on Rumble. Of course, the pit stop is there. The main event also there on demand. Of course, for those of you that just don't like YouTube, another option for you over there as well. And then, of course, everything's on YouTube here, TME Media AZ. You're catching us live right now. We appreciate it very much. You can join the chats here as well, because as soon as we're done here live, well, the main event comes on live, 8 to 10 a.m. on YouTube right now as well. So check that out. Join us in the chat there. Hit our text line up. All of that with me and 17-year NFL veteran Dale Hellestrey, getting you caught up on the sports world. Of course, those will both be up live as soon as we're done here, live on YouTube, TME Media AZ. Then as soon as we're done with the programs live, we put them up on demand there on YouTube and Rumble as well. Don't forget about our free podcast systems for all the shows, except for this one. All the free podcast systems, all the social media for every show, except for this one. This one does have one coming soon. And don't forget to follow TME Media AZ as well. Kind of tells you what we're doing, production, show schedules, etc. Coming your way here as well. That's just our company that does all of our shows out there, TME Media AZ. And with all that being said, let's get right into that Market Watch. Good day on the markets. The only way to really put what we're kind of looking at. And it's all because of the news coming out over the weekend as well. SpaceX having a successful second day on the market. Oil prices dropping below $80 per barrel, folks, is what we are looking at right now. Of course, we don't know all the details of the deal that's going to be signed on Friday for the Iran war situation. But we do know a lot of it there. Strait of Hormuz traffic to return to normal. The blockade will end as well. And just interesting enough, coming across the headlines right now on all the business programs, the SpaceX IPO raised a total of $85.7 billion from as underwriters did exercise that green shoe over allotment option. Remember, we talked about that on Friday. So that spare amount of shares that they could go into if they needed to, the green shoe, they call it a green shoe option. They did exercise that to so many orders for that SpaceX IPO. Dow Jones right now up 611 points here this morning. The S&P 500 is up to 111 points. The Nasdaq's up 598 points as well. Then the Russell 2K small cap index, the only one that's kind of fighting everything, which tells me people are taking their money out of the small cap companies and moving them into those bigger companies as well, as kind of what's probably happening there as well. Bitcoin doing a little bit of a rebound instead of being low 60,000, 66,451 for Bitcoin here today as well for that crypto currency. Stocks we were paying attention to right now. First one, Micron Technology. Memory storage solutions is what these companies do. 8.09% up today. Well, technology stocks obviously rising as the broader market is rallying today. The stock received a price target hike from TD Cowen. Analysts from TD do now forecast the stock at hitting $1,500. They didn't give a time frame, though, but they called the role of memory and artificial build-out as structural, not cyclical. So they're saying that you have to have memory for these data centers and AI. That's why Micron Technology price hike by TD, and they're up 7.89% based off of that news as well. And then let's look at that our favorite mining company here in Arizona. They do a lot of copper mining here. Freeport McMoran is what we're going to look at. They're up 3.22% as of right now. Gold prices, they're up more than 2.5% here today. Investors moved back into gold as that potential U.S.-Iran peace deal has all alleviated the worries that the Federal Reserve may have to hike rates in the coming months, obviously to combat that inflationary period that we're in right now, again, due to that conflict. So everybody feels safe moving back into gold. And kind of the threat of the Federal Reserve price hikes is kind of gone as well, with oil falling back below $80 a barrel, or right around $80 a barrel as of right now as well. So the end of this conflict bringing a lot of positive. Travel stocks all up today, meaning cruise lines, airlines all up as well. Obviously, energy stocks are all down today with oil prices dropping down to $80 a barrel on average. So I see sometimes it's ticking into the high 70s here today as well. So a lot of industries, a lot of things happening well today with that news. And of course, SpaceX having a good day as well. And let's talk a big company, at least that's based out of here in Tempe, that's Carvana. And we know that they're one of the nation's biggest online used car sailors. I think they might be the biggest still, but I know they're up there. But they have quietly been purchasing multiple physical dealerships in the United States, specifically from Stellantis, that car brand. You know Stellantis, they're the ones that Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram as well. We first heard of this about a year or two ago when they bought a big dealership, I believe down in Casa Grande, if I remember correctly. And now they're doing it all over the United States as well. Carvana's reporting and regulatory filings with the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission. They're filing that they purchased six dealerships from Stellantis for a total of $171 million in late 2025 and early this year in 26. Carvana also purchased the seventh Stellantis dealership back in April, according to multiple published reports out there in the market. Carvana's moved to buy brick and mortar car dealerships from Stellantis. Well, why are they doing that? Well, it could allow it to compete more with one of its main competitors. That would be CarMax. They have both a large online presence, but also a very large network of physical dealerships across the United States. CarMax, in fact, has 261 dealerships within 41 states. Carvana, well, they only operate those 39 car vending machines in various states. They do have those seven recently purchased Stellantis dealerships now as well, but you can see CarMax dwarfs them in terms of size as well. Opening up more physical locations could be crucial to Carvana's long term success. Only 30% of car buyers said they were interested in buying new cars completely online. Yeah, that study was released by Cox Automotive in January of this year. So it's kind of like what we're finding with malls and everything. People want to try on their shoes. People want to feel the clothing that they're buying. I bought some shirts. I saw an internet ad. I know shirts came from China. I'm sure. Well, the shirts looked awesome. I bought them cheap. Bought them. They don't fit. Not even close. I went up a size too. I went up a size. Still too small. Ridiculous. I like to go into places. I like to buy them. A lot of people feel that way about their cars also. I want to see them, sit in them, drive them around. So Carvana making this strategic move as well for them moving forward. And then Walmart shoppers in Phoenix, well, get ready. You can get your purchases delivered by a drone starting next year. Yeah, Walmart and Wing, that drone company, they recently announced Phoenix would be among seven new major metros to get drone delivery service in 2027. Right now, they've been testing it. It's available in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and Atlanta. Wing drones fly at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour. They use a tether to lower packages to a customer's yard or driveway so they don't drop the items like we've seen some of these delivery sites do it, or they come down to the ground and drop them gently and then fly back up again. Tether brings them down. So we're going to be on the testing here coming up. Pay attention to that for more details coming our way. And Bash's local grocery chain for what 90 something years here. They recently announced a partnership with a fairly large company you may have heard of called Amazon. Well, that's going to provide four Arizona store locations with grocery delivery and pickup service. This new shopping option is available at locations in Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, and even you down in Tucson. Bash's down there gets the option as well. You can browse and directly purchase Bash's items through Amazon app or even Amazon.com. Now, same day delivery, pickup, also options for this deal with Amazon. Orders of more than $25 are eligible for free delivery for a limited time, the release said. Store customers who are Amazon Prime members, You get $15 off your first order of $60 or more. Members must use the code BASHES15. BASHAS 15 for those of you listening and want to remember that in order to get that discount in your basket as well. Customers can shop more than 1,500 items, baked goods, dinner essentials as well out there. So Bashers joins Whole Food Markets, um, you know, and uh and Amazon. Holy cow, I just forgot who we were talking about. In collaboration with Amazon as well. So Bash is making some innovative moves for them as a company as well. And then speaking of, that's one way to get food and tie it all in here. I like that idea working with Amazon. Because obviously Whole Foods isn't available everywhere. Different clientele to Whole Foods, by the way, that Amazon owns. So now they're going into regular grocery stores. I think that's a phenomenal move here by both Bashas and Amazon as well. And but more importantly, we talked about a menu item change on Chick-fil-A last week. Well, now the entree can be a mac and cheese with the side. Well, KFC is making some menu changes as well. They're trying to win over today's, mm, you know, demanding diners. Let's put it that way. Is what they're trying to do. They're prioritizing boneless chicken menu items, KFC is, expanding its sauce options and even designing its restaurants to keep you paying attention when you're inside of them or driving by them as well. We know this Yum Brands is kind of trying to revitalize KFC here, and they've been trying to do it for a year or two. Stiff competition, obviously McDonald's, Canes, etc. That do a lot of chicken items out there, but a lot of popularity in chicken right now as well in these fast food companies. So they're making a big move. Bold menu revamp is what they're calling it. The chain KFC, they plan to expand its boneless chicken options out there. So they're going to improve its recipe for existing tenders, make them yummier as well, they say. So they're saying on their tenders, they're going to evolve to make sure that they're non negotiable. We're going to have the biggest, the juiciest, and the crispiest chicken tenders out there. Yeah. Now the sauces, well, if you like to drizzle, drench, dunk your sauces with your chicken tenders, they have a global sauce pantry. Has more than 20 varieties that mixes classic sauces with new flavors. Like they have a chimichurri ranch flavor out there, folks. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah. They also have if you go to different states, like for instance, if you're vacationing in Florida this summer or you're going there, KFC has different flavors there. Like they have an added one there called let me find it here, Saucy. Yeah. That is a KFC chain there that focuses on this. And then now they're bringing some of this into the KFC side as well. KFC is also launching a menu line called Dunked tenders, wings, and sandwiches drenched in sauces. The menu items are available in other countries as of right now. So if you're in India, South Africa, for instance, this summer, you can check it out there. But it is coming to America as well. So they're redoing their drink menus as well. Boba refreshers, sparkling lemonades, iced coffees. That's called Quench with a K for by KFC is what that menu is called as well. So just bringing them from other countries that they're doing them here into the United States as well. So, as I said, new store designs for KFC. I want to keep you, I think, open concept restaurant is what they've done. They've already opened one in McKinney, Texas. Immersive two-story location in Dubai is also out there. That's going to open up coming up in December. So they're changing the visual sensory when you walk into a KFC also. So there you go. KFC making a ton of challenges. Obviously trying to, ward off Raising Cane's, which has made big market share on them. McDonald's, Chick-fil-A. For instance, in 2021, KFC held 16% of the U.S. market share for chicken quick service restaurants in that category. Second place behind Chick fil A in 2021 as well. By 2024, the market share had slipped to only 9.4%. Popeyes and Raising Cane's went above them as well, which put KFC in the fourth spot. at that time. Obviously, Chick-fil-A is the leader in the chicken fast food restaurants as well. So now Yum does consider KFC's international to be one of their biggest growth areas. But what they're finding is the success there. They bring it here, and it works well here as well. So they view it as Taco Bell, KFC International, KFC, and then they're trying to unload Pizza Hut right now as well. So they are trying to do this KFC turnaround here in America, and that's how they're doing it. Bigger, juicier, crispier chicken nuggets or tenders, I should say. Nuggies. Working on that. So, folks, hit up a KFC and see if the menu changes and everything or what you're looking for out there. And if it's something worth going to. I always love KFC's chicken. One thing I will say about it, really bony at times. So I do like that option of the boneless options out there as well. But hey, appreciate you joining us here on this Monday edition of McCollum on Business. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 a.m. Tuesday as well. We'll see what the market's doing. Usually a big build-up day like this. See what happens tomorrow. Interesting here with nothing but good news in the market, at least as of right now. And oil prices, we'll see how low do they go is the bigger question here as we're going into this Tuesday, leading up to Friday's signing of that peace agreement or understanding of memorandum is what they're calling it out there. Folks, the main event coming up next, 8 to 10 here on YouTube. If you can't catch us live, catch us on demand if you would. We'd appreciate it. We'll see you then, everybody. Have a great Monday night.